Puma has certainly made a splash in the running shoe landscape the last couple of years. Maybe not known as the top running shoe brand, but Puma continues to deliver. But does the Puma Deviate Nitro 3 continue this hot streak? Let's lace it up and find out. Hey, welcome back to Running Shoe Kings. Today we are doing a deep dive into the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. We've gotten over 50 miles into this pair, so let's get into things. As a disclosure, I purchased this shoe with my own money, and what follows is my own opinions and any information that I found in researching the shoe. Okay, and starting off with the specs, we have 44 millimeters of stack height here in the forefoot, working its way down to 34 millimeters of stack height for a 10 millimeter drop, heel to toe. Shoe comes in at 9.5 ounces or 269 grams and retails at $160. Let's cover this shoe bottom to top. So starting off with the outsole here, we have the Puma Grip ATR. ATR standing for all-terrain. Now, this grip here is widely said to be one of the best in the running shoe game, and as usual, Puma has hit it out of the park. I have well over 50 miles into this shoe now, and there's still very little signs of wear in those high wear areas that I tend to see. And even in wet conditions, that grip is still nice and tacky, and I'm not really slipping at all. Moving up to the midsole here, so as I said, we have a dual midsole compound with a Puma Nitro Elite foam here underneath the foot, working its way down to a regular Nitro foam as a bottom layer, kind of a bit of a stability element with that softer midsole that tends to be the racing foam, and also that nice little carbon plate in the bottom. Now, Puma does advertise this as a carbon plate, not carbon infused or a nylon plate, but I find that just kind of with the bend test, it does have quite a bit more give than what you would see in a carbon plate in a racing shoe. So just keep that in mind, that it's not quite as aggressive of a plate design. And then moving up here to the upper, so this is an engineered mesh with Puma's power tape, which you can kind of see here on the sides. Just adds a little bit extra structure to the shoe in general and provides a really solid lockdown with no issues here on the top of the foot, no rubbing or anything. It's just a very soft compound, or very soft outsole, very soft upper, and even features this nice little shark fin on the back that I still have no idea what it's for. Moving on to the ride and feel of the shoe, the Deviate Nitro 3 is meant to be Puma's super trainer. So it's versatile for a broad range of uses. It certainly has that snappy feel with that plate in the midsole. So it's enough to give you that energy return at faster paces, but honestly isn't too aggressive. So you're able to take it to those regular mile paces as well. Now, I put this through the tests from anything from a 30 to 32 second 200 the whole way up to easy recovery runs well over 8-minute pace, and it didn't feel like it excelled at anything in between those two ranges, but I will say that it's a strong performer no matter what I had asked for it to do. Now, if I had to pick, I'd say it felt a little bit of that sweet spot around marathon pace, but I wouldn't necessarily reach for it above some marathon pace specific or some maybe other super trainers that are better at going at those faster paces. Now, I originally had gotten the Deviate Nitro 2 hoping to find a replacement for one of my favorite shoes, the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Now, the second version of the Deviate was certainly able to fill this position, but it still wasn't a perfect replacement, and this is much of the same. It just doesn't quite have that same roll off, that aggressive geometry that the Saucony Endorphin Speeds tend to have. This shoe doesn't really have that aggressive roll off, but that's not necessarily a bad thing if you're looking for a shoe with such versatility. Now, this is a shoe that kind of favors you having a powerful plant underneath your hips, get some power, get some force into this midsole to really get the most back out of it. I normally don't run with those powerful plants. I'm a little bit lighter on my feet, so it didn't quite fit my stride, at least as well as the Deviate Nitro 2 did, but it still felt very smooth, whether I was going faster paces, trying to get that extra speed out of it, or just going a little slower. Now, Puma's widely regarded as having one of the best outsole compounds in the game, and I'd agree that the Deviate Nitro 3 continues to deliver in that category. I should note that this little cutout in the center of the shoe did pick up a few rocks on the runs, but no issues as far as just popping those back out and getting back on my way. Now, the lockdown here on the upper is really strong. I had no issues with any slipping. It's a very simple lockdown. Even with having 44 millimeters of stack height here, I still felt very confident on some cornering. There's a little bit of narrowness to the middle of the shoe here, but with that power tape on the back end there, it has enough leniency in there so that if you have a little bit of a wider foot, there's still no rubbing spots, no hot spots. I will say that this upper is on the more water absorbent side of things. So whenever I was running in the rain, this shoe really tended to pick up quite a bit of weight. And I think that kind of comes down to just how thick some of this engineered mesh is, and along with some of that extra padding that I honestly don't think the Deviate needs if it wants to be a true super trainer. I think we can get rid of a little bit of that and also reduce the weight as well. Alright, and then on to my favorite part about the shoe, and that has to be the versatility. So if I were to pick one shoe that I can race in, I can do workouts in, I can do daily mileage, long runs, this is going to be pretty high up on the list. It doesn't really excel at anything in particular, but it can do anything well. For those looking for something for a specific segment of their rotation, then this might not be something you reach for, but if you're doing, say, maybe like a fartlek workout where you're having a range of paces, and whether you're going fast or if you have that easy recovery part of the fartlek, then this shoe is going to be excellent for that. On to the worst part about the shoe, and I'm going to kind of do a combination of this upper and the weight as well. So the midsole of the shoe wants to go faster, but there's so much material here on the upper, which tends to again collect that moisture, whether that's from rain or even just sweat. I've been wearing it through much of the summer here, so it just tends to draw in that moisture, and maybe part of that is just the fact that I have a black colorway might make my feet sweat a little bit more, but I still think that there's quite a bit of weight to be lost up here in this upper. So, what is my final verdict? So I would recommend this shoe for someone who's looking for a do-it-all shoe. If you want to race in this shoe, it can do it. You want to do workouts in the shoe, it can do that too. You want to go easy in this shoe, take things a little bit slower, it can do that too. I put over 650 miles into the second version of the Deviate Nitro, and I expect this to have a similar lifespan. So really good value whenever you're considering that this is a $160 super trainer, and a lot of other super trainers you're starting to see up towards $170, $180, even up to $200 for some of those other super trainers that might not even have that plate in the bottom as well. Moving forward, I plan to use this again with that versatility. I might use it for some tempo runs, long runs, those days where I just want a little extra pop in my stride on easy mileage. I'll throw it on too. Thank you for watching my review of the Puma Deviate Nitro 3. If you've also gotten the opportunity to wear this shoe, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you found this video helpful, leave a like and subscribe for more running shoe content. We'll see you next time.